Maybe look at something that attracts your eyes. And as you do that, noticing how you're feeling internally. How's your body feeling today? Is there anywhere where you could release tension in your jaw or your shoulders, your neck, or somewhere else? And then if you're ready to, you could begin to widen your breath on your inhale and lengthen your exhale. And you can do this using your natural breath, or you could do this using Ujjayi breathing. And focusing on getting every last bit of air out. So as you finish the exhale, do you notice anything going on in your abdominal area as you get every last bit of air out? And then as you inhale after that, can you feel the expansion through your rib cage? And then we'll just inhale and reach your arms upward. Stretch way up, reaching, reaching, reaching. And as you exhale, let's twist to our right. And you can do this however you want, taking an arm behind or the left arm across. Inhale, stay here, noticing where your head wants to be. You can turn it wherever it feels best. And as you exhale, let's come back to the center. And then we'll inhale, sweep the arms up again. You might even look up. And then as you exhale, twisting to the left. And we'll stay here for the inhale, noticing where your head might want to turn. And then exhale, untwist. And we'll do that again. Inhale, sweeping up, go way up, try to lift those ribs up away from pelvis. And then as you exhale, twist. And this time, as you take your inhale, trying to feel that through your rib cage. And then as you exhale, just untwist. And again, so inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, twist. Big inhale, feeling it all through the ribs. And exhale, untwist. And then we're just going to inhale, take your hands to your shoulders here. And it doesn't matter how high your elbows are, okay? You're just going to inhale, turn towards your left, and exhale to the right. Now, you can do this quickly. So you can breathe a little faster than you would normally breathe in yoga. It's like a washing machine with an agitator in the middle. And it's just to warm up the spine, warm up the abdomen, the whole area here. We'll do it for about 30 more seconds. Still trying to stay tall through your center. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And just coming back to the center, letting your arms release, noticing how you feel, taking an inhale here and an exhale here. And we're going to come to our blocks now, and you can have your block. We're going to do a chest opener. So you can have your block that's going to go behind your upper back on the medium or the low level. And then the one behind your head, just have a little higher than that, a little taller. Now, if you don't have blocks, you'll just roll up blankets or pillows and do the same thing, okay? And so you're taking this block, and it's gonna go about like where a bra strap would be, or a little bit higher, allowing your chest to lift, and then the arms just relax wherever they feel best right now. And let's leave the knees bent for the moment. Just taking the feet a little wide, leaning the knees against one another. Now taking an inhale here, noticing if you can feel it against the block on your inhale. And then exhale, just relaxing the shoulders back if you can, relaxing your neck and your jaw. Good, and now let's inhale and reach the arms up toward the ceiling and stretch them way up. Protract the shoulder blades so they press, or the space between them presses into the block. Good, and then on your next inhale, let's slowly take the arms overhead, just as far as feels okay right now. With the palms facing one another, stay here for the exhale. And inhale. Notice where you feel your breath. Exhale. Good, and then let's inhale, bring them back up toward the ceiling. And exhale, let's open them out to the sides at a, it's an angle that feels like a little bit of a stretch to you. You can play around with it. It might be more of a W with the arms coming out on a diagonal, or it might be more of a T. Take a couple breaths here. Again, trying to experience the breath in your rib cage if you can, just noticing what you feel there. And feel as though, or invite the feeling in that the area around your pecs, so the muscles of your chest over here by the out to the shoulders are melting open. Right, and then what you can do with your head block or pillow is see how it feels to lower it down one, or lower it down a little bit. And if that feels okay, you can leave it there. And then we'll inhale, take the arms up toward the ceiling again. And exhale as you start to take them overhead. Just notice how this feels. Let the ribs open. So imagine that the rib cage, they're separating from one another, where the ribs are. Notice if it's different arm to arm in the sensations. And now on your next exhale, let's interlace hands behind your skull. And inhale, and you can keep the block there or you could take it away. We're going to inhale, open up the elbows, and you can, if you've taken your block away, you can allow yourself to go back further if you'd like. And then as you exhale, think about drawing the sternum down as you start to lift upward, letting the elbows move around the ears. Good. And then inhale, opening back up any amount, letting the elbows open, supporting the neck. And then as you exhale, think sternum down, ribs down to help you come up. And just feeling just a little bit of core engagement that helps you to come up here. Good. And noticing the difference between this upper back opening and the rib cage opening. And then when you draw the sternum down, the ribs start to close to bring you up into flexion. Okay, just one more. And in fact, this time, as you start to come up, find like a middle place. You're not all the way up, but kind of in the middle. Back is rounded, and just give yourself a little massage on your upper back by little twisting action side to side. Good, now keeping this flexion is coming to the center, you can place your forearms down and keep the engagement in your center to help yourself lift up off the block. And we're just gonna come down to the floor, putting it between your legs here, between your inner thighs. Good. So first, just feeling your back and your shoulder blades on the floor, taking a good umbrella breath here, inhaling, and long exhale. Good, and then let's inhale again, really wide. And as you exhale, can you engage your abdominals and lift the feet off the floor, stacking knees right above hips? Good. Inhale as you spread your arms out to the sides, and exhale there, moving knees slightly away from belly so that you get core work here. And inhale, taking the knees down to the left for a twist part way. And then as you exhale, begin your exhale, engage the abdominals, bringing the knees up to the center. So the feet never touch down, they float. Inhale, go to the other side. Good, floating the knees. And then exhale, begin the exhale, bringing the knees up through the center. So you're just gonna keep going with this, side to side. And feeling that exhale and core bring you to the center. And noticing maybe you can come down a little further and still have that core control. Feeling the opposite arm reach far out to the side. And keeping the knees away from your belly. So when you come up through the center, you're getting that action of your functional core working. Even though it might not be a lot of core work here, you're just turning on your functional core. Good. And the next time you come up to the center, let's take away, or no, let's leave the block and just stretch the legs up toward the ceiling. And just roll the ankles a few times. Good. Nice. Now exhale, take the block away and lower your legs down to the floor. Inhale, bending your knees, setting up for a bridge pose, interlacing hands behind your head. Exhale. Good. Inhale, press your elbows down to the floor, and exhale, begin to lengthen your tail forward, engaging your glutes, and peel up into bridge with your hands behind your head. And then find your exhale, and then inhale to lower back down. Now this time we're going to exhale, let the elbows curl around the ears as you draw the sternum down to lift head and shoulders. And then as you inhale, lower back down, widen the elbows to the floor if you can. And exhale, peel up into bridge. And so you're just going to alternate between these two positions, lifting hips and lifting head and shoulders. On the inhale, you lower down. And on the exhale, you peel up either side. And just paying attention to the different movements through your spine and through your middle. So through your abdominal muscles. And keeping the feet planted. And now the next time that you come down from bridge, I'm just going to draw the knees in toward the belly and begin to rock forward and back, rolling like a ball, I should say. Just up and down, and then see if you can do it with very little momentum. So just floating feet off the floor, rounding the spine, and only coming down to your shoulders, not onto your head at all. Good, a couple more. And then rising up and finding your blanket. We're going to make a roll with our blanket. That's this is going to be a belly roll. Okay, so I know you guys have all done this with me before. You can make it as thick or thin as you want. Okay, we're going to face any direction and come onto the belly roll. So that means it's touching your belly button. People always want to put it below their hips, so it's not as intense, I understand. So to make it less intense, just take it down, unroll it. And so first, just coming into Sphinx pose. And depending on your proportions, you're wanting it to be between the bones, not on the bones. So you might need to adjust how wide it is. And then if you can come down onto your forehead here, if that's tolerable, and if it's not, lower the roll and just feel your breath against the roll. So as you inhale, feel your belly expanding into the roll, maybe your back ribs as well, come rising up. And then as you exhale, just let the roll in. A couple more of those. And you're actually now pushing your belly into the roll on the inhale. So like you're making it happen rather than just feeling the natural breath. And then if it feels okay, the next time you inhale, let's place the hands by the head and you push the belly into the roll and then start to rise up toward cobra. But can you press your pubic bone into the floor? So if your pubic bone's not on the floor, if you can adjust how you're laying there, and then exhale, let the roll in as you come down. So you inhale, press belly into roll, pubic bone to floor, hands on floor, rise up. And then exhale, allow that roll in. Let's just do 2 more. Shoulder blades down the back as you rise. So no tension around the neck. Jaw relaxed, face relaxed. Good. Now, next time you lower down, let's place the hands so you can push yourself up off of the roll. And either take yourself back to puppy dog pose or to downward facing dog, whatever you'd prefer right now. Move around however you'd like to, kind of warming up your upper back a little bit further. Good. And if you're in down dog, you can be pedaling your feet a little bit or shifting your hips. And then coming back to a rhythmic breath if you've lost it. So following your breath in for a few counts and out. Good. Now, can you get a feel, if you can join me in down dog now, if you're in puppy, and just get a feel for your shoulder blades. Where are they? Could you, for a moment, elevate your shoulder blades up by your ears? And if you're not sure what that is, you can come down to your knees for a moment. And if you take your arms overhead and just draw your shoulder blades up, just elevate them. That's the same thing that we're doing here in down dog. Okay, so you're just like elevating them, drawing them way up, right? And now can you protract them? You remember what that is? And widen them apart from one another. And give your neck some space and just let your head hang. Good, another breath there. And then this exhale, slowly lower down to your knees. And then let's retract the shoulder blades. So draw them toward one another, letting your neck relax, and protract them, widen them. And just try that a few times. And if you're not sure what I'm doing, I think you guys all know this, but it's just drawing them together and pressing them apart with the neck out of it. Just letting the neck relax. Now, if you know how to do this already and you've got it, try to do some shoulder rolls. So it's like they're going to elevate, they're going to retract, they're going to do press down the back and then protract. Really just shoulder rolls. You don't have to think too much about it. And then try to reverse those rolls. Keep breathing. Good. Now, could you do this with knees lifted off the floor? Maybe, maybe not, depending on your wrists, shoulders, everything. Okay, so what I mean by that is I just tuck my toes. My knees are going to hover here. I'm going to have a neutral spine, and I'm going to try to retract, protract in that position. So it just ups the ante a little bit here. Good. A couple more of those. Keep breathing. Good. And then from here, just go back to your puppy dog or your downward dog. So puppy dog is knees dropped, arms stretched forward, knees below hips, different than child's pose. Good. Taking a couple wide breaths here. So really inhale, feeling your rib cage expand. And then just play around with your shoulder blades a little bit now. So you can elevate them again and see what that feels like. You can try to retract them, see what that feels like, and draw them toward one another. And then just kind of notice, what you can do with your shoulders and what feels best in your own body. How do you want them to be? Let your jaw relax, let your face relax. One more breath here. And then slowly coming down to your knees, we're going to just play with the wrists a little bit, spread the fingers wide. Okay. And so we're bringing them into this active extension of the wrist. So you know your own body. If you need to stay back, stay back. But if you don't, then start to move your weight around on your wrists, on your hands, really pressing into each of your fingertips. So almost like you're trying to, like a chameleon on a wall with your fingertips, like just, and then down at the base of each finger too, pressing that down. Good. Noticing if there's any little tight spots or any painful spots, staying away from that. Good. And then coming back on your exhale, just come back to child's pose, and you're going to lift the hands up. So we're still in extension. Actually, this is the active one, right? Because you're having to do it. And then this is the passive, when you inhale up and stretch forward. Good. Yeah, so you're just going between those two, getting a feel for how your wrists are today. Good. And then the next time you come up, let's come down to the forearms, getting some flexion with the wrists. So first, protract your shoulder blades, just widen them. Inhale, palms up, trying to get thumbs down to floor. Exhale, make a fist, and then pressing wrists down, lift knuckles up, and just repeat that a few times. Noticing where you feel this through your forearms, through your wrists and hands. And now the next time that the hands spread out, let's turn the palms back down. Make sure the shoulders are above the elbows and protract the shoulder blades as you inhale. Really engage the fingers and the base of the fingers. And as you exhale, let's just hover the elbows off the floor as though you were squeezing a beach ball between the elbows. So you're drawing them together. Yeah. And you still got your shoulders more or less over those elbows. Okay, a little bit back. Good. And then just rest that. Good. Inhale, protract the shoulder blades again. Exhale, lift the elbows. Good. Squeezing that beach ball. Keep breathing into your whole rib cage there. And then lower and back down. Now, inhale, protract the shoulder blades. And exhale, can you lift just the knees off the floor, just about an inch? Good. Let your neck be at ease. It's just in neutral here. Good. Nice. And then placing the knees down. Now, you can try the knees again or the elbows again, or you can try both. Okay. So to try both, you'd inhale. And then as you exhale, press into those hands, squeeze your beach ball, hover the knees. Good. Good. So your shoulders are over the elbows. Yeah. Draw those ribs in so you're in neutral. Nice. And then could you go back towards turbo dog, which is hovering the elbows, but with the legs straight, like in down dog. And the elbows are bent like an inch off the floor, and you're squeezing them together. Good. And then stretching yourself back to down dog, giving those arms a break. Or even child's pose or puppy dog pose here. Following your breath in and out. Good, and in. And then as you breathe out, just slowly coming down to the floor. We're going to be in a tabletop here, and inhale, keep those shoulder blades protracted. Exhale, you're going to take the right leg straight back and turn toward the right, just in this version of side plank. So I let my left foot sort of migrate back there. So it moved back. Yeah. So this is a version of side plank that we're going to be doing some side planks today. You can always do this version. Okay. So it's a lot less pressure on the wrist and the shoulder, right? Not a lot of weight there, but it still is opening up the chest and getting length through your side body. Good. Inhale here. Exhale. Let's close that down. Inhale, protract the shoulder blades. And exhale, just open up to the other side, sending the left leg back. So just seeing how it feels on this side. Rolling that upper arm bone back. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, coming down. Nice. Now let's come down onto your side. Either side is fine. Okay. We're going to do both. And come down onto the forearm. Right. So I've got my hands straight ahead, not open to the side. Right, just straight coming forward. Then inhale, get strong through my shoulders to really integrate my shoulder here. Inhale. And I'm going to exhale, is lift my hip off the floor. Yeah. And your knees can be more forward's going to be easy. Knees back is going to be harder. Good. Engage your glutes and press your tail forward. Good. Engage your side body so that the hips are stacked. The top hip's going to want to roll back. So bring it straight up and down. Inhale here. Good. Bring the top of the head back, or the back of the head back. Good. And exhale, come down. And just flip over to your other side or turn around. Let's see how this side feels. So we're just kind of testing out, evaluating, and assessing how our shoulders are doing today. You're going to inhale, roll that upper arm bone back and integrate your shoulder. And then exhale, rise. Okay. Hips are stacked. Mine always want to turn back. You just take that top hip, draw it straight up and down. Engage the glutes, tail forward. Good. Keep breathing. Good. So another version of side plank you can always work with. Good. And exhale, lower down. All right, let's flip over to the first side again. Now you can stick with the knees, or you can come up, and I'll show you. So I'm going to come up the same way. I'm going to roll my upper arm bone back, integrate my shoulder, and as I exhale, I'm going to come onto my feet. Now I could have one foot in front of the other, or I could stack them like this. And in this one, we're going to really try to lift that bottom hip and side waist away from the floor. So you turn on those obliques. Hips are stacked. You're breathing. Top arm can do whatever feels best. I like to put it behind my head so that I open up. Good. Engage your glutes. Don't let that top hip roll back. Good. And then exhale, you can bend the knees to slowly lower. Okay. So now you know, like, where do you want to be, right? Do you want to stick with knees, or do you want to be up high? Switch to the other side. And when you're ready, get that arm and shoulder integrated. Upper arm bone back. Go ahead, inhale. And then as you exhale, you can come into any variation on the forearm. Engage the glutes, right? Hips forward. Lifting the side body and hip away from the floor. Top arm can do whatever you'd like. Breathing. Keep engaging the glutes. And then exhale, you can bend the knees to come down if you've got the legs straight. All right, flipping over to the other side. All right. Going towards skydiver. You guys remember skydiver? So skydiver, I've got my knees bent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my top arm to open up as I rise. And I'm also going to lift this top leg. So it's pushing my hips forward, or I'm pushing my hips forward and my chest forward and opening up. Okay. Now you could have your arm open too, like to the side, but this takes a lot of shoulder opening. So just judge it by your own shoulder. I like doing it like that because I close up. I start down here, inhale, and then I exhale, open. Yeah. Good. Now you can come right down if this is too much, right? Or you can stick with it. Just keep engaging your glutes, drawing your hips forward. Good, you guys. Opening up. Keep breathing. And then exhale, slowly lower down. And now if you don't already have your arm turned to the side, the forearm to the side, bring it there now and take the other arm parallel to it. And just let your neck relax, folding your chest down. Yeah, it's just a little twist. So bring your knees a little further forward, Holly. Yeah, exactly. You're just kind of twisting here. Breathe into both sides of your rib cage. Good. And then slowly, just bring yourself up. You can use your hands. And switch around to the other side. Okay. So again, we're going to do the skydiver. You can choose whatever variation you'd like. Okay. Arm forward, arm to side. Okay. And inhale, start down. Your knees can be bent a little forward for this one. And then as you exhale, let's open up, squeezing those hips forward, pressing the chest forward, just everything opens up. Good. A couple more breaths if you can here. Good. And then slowly lower down, taking your arms parallel and bringing the knees in a little bit for a twist. Good. As you inhale, just breathing into the rib cage area. As you exhale, relax your neck, relax your jaw. Good. And then inhale, just rising up. Good. Exhale, you can face whichever way on your mat and come back into downward facing dog. As you inhale, widening those ribs. Long exhale. Good. And then inhale, let's bend the knees. You can bring your knees down to the floor or just step your right leg directly forward. And if you want blocks below your hands, you can get them. Okay, up to you on that. We're just going to inhale and reach that right arm forward. Good. And sweep it around in a big circle. And then as you exhale and it comes down by your hip, let's try to straighten that front leg and square the hips. Good. And then inhale, reaching forward again. You don't have to time this exactly with the breath, okay? You can just let your breath flow and let your arm move in a circle and bend and straighten the leg. And just decide where you want that bottom arm. Like your hand could come to the floor. Good. Now, the next time you bend the knee, just let the arm come down. We're going to place the left hand on the floor. Here's another version of side plank that you guys know. And what it is you start to walk your right foot over to the right so it points to the right, and you come on the pinky toe edge of the left leg. Yeah. And then you try to lift that left hip away from the floor as you reach the right arm up. Okay, so this version is more demanding than the knee down, this one, right? So this is you choosing what's going to work for your body today. Can you still engage your glutes and breathe? Good, and then exhale, start to come back to your lunge. So you walk that right foot forward. Hands can come to the floor. Inhale, step to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. And you can always choose child's pose, of course. Inhale, breathing wide into your rib cage. Exhale. Inhale, bending the knees. And exhale, stepping the left leg forward. Good. So your hand could start on the block or could stay on the floor. We're just making those big circles And inhale as you start to open. And you can exhale as you square the hips, straightening the front leg. And just make this your own here. Good. Now, the next time that you bend the knee, you can take that right hand to the floor, roll the upper arm bone back, and start to come into our Vasisthasana, our side plank variation 2 here. You're going to engage the glute, lift the hip away from the floor as that left foot walks over to the left and you're on the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Just opening up, inhale. Good, and then as you exhale, slowly start to come out of it, walking your foot back, coming onto the ball of your foot. Inhale here, reaching your chest forward. And exhale, let's step the back leg up next to the front. Inhale again, hands to legs, reaching spine forward. And exhale, bending the knees. And inhale, rise. And coming all the way up. You can even look up if you'd like. And exhale, arms out to the sides. And down. Good. Just notice how you feel in standing here. Following your breath in and out. We're going to inhale and take the right arm up. And elevate the shoulder blade. So really draw it up by your ear. Good. Now exhale, retract the shoulder blade. Right? Like you're trying to squeeze it back. Yeah, that's it. And then inhale, just bend the elbow now. So your hand comes behind your neck or head or upper back. Good. Keep reaching the elbow up. Good. Now as you take your next inhale, let's elevate the shoulder blade. Good. That right one. And then exhale, try to retract it. Yeah, draw it back behind. Good. Now just let your head rest back towards your forearm. Nice. And then taking the left hand, you can reach behind your back as though you were going to make contact with fingers, but you don't have to do that necessarily. Okay. And inhale. If you really elevate that right shoulder blade up again. Good. And exhale, retract it. Yeah, just keep opening that up. Good. Inhaling. Nice. And now as you exhale, just release. Take the arms down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, take them down your back. Nice. Now let's take the left arm up. Inhale. Good. Exhale there. And inhale, elevate that shoulder. So reach, reach, reach up by your ear. Good. Now exhale, can you retract that shoulder blade? Draw back behind you. Yeah. And then inhale, bend the elbow. Bring the head back. Good. Exhale, stay there. And inhale, reach the elbow up and elevate that shoulder blade more. Good. And then exhale, retract that shoulder blade. Good. Now take the right arm behind your back. And you don't have to make contact here. That's not an expectation. Okay. You're just reaching it back, noticing all the feelings there. And then inhale, reach that left shoulder blade up. Elevate it. Exhale, retract it. Good. Inhaling again. And exhale, release. Coming out, inhale and roll the shoulders up. And exhale, take them down your back. And again. Okay, now we're going to come to the wall here. And what we're going to do is just stand with your left shoulder toward the wall. And you're going to bring your right, or let me see, actually. Let me get over here. All right. So yes, your right leg forward. Like in a little mini warrior one. Yes. So my left shoulder's against the wall. My right leg is forward, a little mini warrior one here. Good. And then from here, I'm going to take my left palm to the wall out in front of me. Yeah, that's it, Holly. You got it. So I'm just doing this. That's it. Okay. And exhale there. I'm just going to let your breath flow. Okay. So next I'm going to inhale, start to sweep that arm forward and up. So now it's like up by my ear, the left arm, Holly. What Alicia is doing. Yes, you got it. Good. And stay here. Okay. Keep reaching it up. Inhale. Good. Now, as you exhale, can you start to walk that arm behind? Yeah, so you might need to come forward a little bit so your hand can still be on the wall if you're coming off the wall. And start to take it down behind you. That's it. And Holly, you can even use what I'm using is like this, wrapping my fingers around the edge there. Yeah, to get a little more. Good, but you don't need that. So make sure there's no pain or pinching as you're doing this, okay? And inhale, can you move that left shoulder blade down a little bit? Good. Now, exhale, can you turn your chest toward the wall? Good. And inhale, can you keep the arm back, but turn the chest away from the wall a little bit? Yeah, that's it. And then repeat. So you're just getting this opening through the front of the shoulder. You guys feeling that? Yeah, okay, good. And if you need to adjust the height of the back arm, you can, or if it feels better to bend the back arm, you can do that. Okay, you just come in and out. We're against the wall, you guys joining back in, and we've got our left shoulder back. Good, now can you hold turning your chest away from the wall? Good, and just noticing where you feel it. I kind of like this, and Alicia, you could do it too by walking back. You can put your fingers around the corner there. Yeah, and then use that to help you stretch it open. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Good, one more breath here. Now, not making it so intense so you can't breathe or anything, right? And then slowly, we're just gonna exhale, turn your chest back toward the wall. Inhale, start to bring the arm back up. And exhale, you can let your chest turn naturally as you bring the arm forward and down. Yeah, good. Just kind of shake it out a little bit, and we'll turn to face the other side. Okay, so now you guys will get the back view a little bit, might help. So I'm going to start with my arm forward and my palm on the wall if I have a big enough space. I don't, so I'm imagining, okay? My left knee is bent and my right shoulder is near the wall. Okay, and what I'm going to do is inhale, reaching the arm up, and now I'm going to find the wall. So it's right up next to me on by my right ear. And I'm just feeling that, noticing what that's like, kind of finding the wall with my hand, getting a little bit of hold there. Inhaling here. And then as I exhale, I'm going to let my chest turn toward the wall so it's not intense at all. Right? I'm just going to find where I want to be. If you have a little edge like this, you can grab it. It's not necessary though. You can just plant the hands. So the arm could always be bent with the elbow on the wall like this, if that feels better, or it can stay straight. Good. So we're going to exhale, chest faces wall, or turns toward wall. Inhale, chest tries to turn away while keeping arm back. Good. And repeat. And have your arm at any height, bent or straight, just where you're feeling an opening across the front of the right shoulder, into the pec, the chest there. Good. Now, when you're ready to do so, you can try to keep the chest turned away from the wall and breathe. Either pressing your hand into the wall or your elbow into the wall. You can even try that to see how what the difference is like, where you can be holding on to the edge like this. Good, a couple more breaths. Good, and then slowly return your chest toward the wall. Good, and just inhale, reach the arm up and bring it around to the front, and exhale, release, just stepping forward and letting your arms hang. And just notice how you feel here for a moment. Follow your breath, and you can close your eyes if you'd like to tune inward. Notice your hands, your shoulders, your elbows. Feel your feet on the floor. Good. And then we'll come back to our space. You're away from the wall again. I'm going to wheel over the thing and just stand toward the front of your mat, and you can have your blocks up there at the front too. There we go. Good. All right. Just standing up there. And again, checking in, noticing how you feel here. Following your breath in and following your breath out. Good. We're going to inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, extending your spine forward. And exhale, stepping that left leg back to a high lunge. And lowering the left hand to the floor or low block. And inhale, take a big circle just like we did before. Good. Exhale, straighten the leg as you fold. Good. Inhale, bend the knee again. And what we're going to do is place the back heel down on an angle. Press into the front heel. You can use your hands to help if you'd like to. We're coming up into a reverse warrior. So just going to reach that right arm up. Good. Just notice where your breath is and pause. Not your breath pausing, but just your body. Good. Inhale, reach the top arm up to the ceiling. Yeah, so get really long rather than back bend. Good. Nice. So inhale one more time. Good. Now exhale. We're going to look forward towards your right foot and find your block. And let's place it on the high level and step it forward for half moon pose. So you can take your left hand to your hip and rise up whatever amount feels good. You can take the top arm up if you'd like. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, looking back down, bending the front knee and softly landing if you can. Back there. And what we're going to do is straighten the front leg, turn the feet parallel, and then turn the left leg out and come into side angle pose. So I'm just going to place my forearm down. That's it. And then stretch the right arm along the ear. Good. Now find your breath. Feel both feet on the floor. And inhale, can you elevate your right shoulder blade like we did with our Gomukhasana arms a moment ago? Good. Exhale, stay there. Inhale, elevate that shoulder blade, and now exhale, retract it. I'm going to draw it back toward the other one. When I do that, my palm turns the same way my face is facing. And let your neck relax. Inhale. And now as you exhale, we're going to start to press in that left heel to rise, coming into like our speed skater pose. So that's just side to side bending. Side to side bending. Yeah, that's it. You can take your elbow down. You can do this however you'd like. I'm sending my hips back and staying low. Yeah. Nice. A couple more. Feeling into your inner thighs. Good. And then we're going to come back to our right side, turn around to a lunge, place the hands down on blocks or floor. Good. Inhale here. And exhale here. You're going to choose your own version of side plank with the left arm down. Okay, so you can place that left arm down. And so we've done all three of these versions, right? You've got, or no, we haven't done the third one. The third version would be like straight, right? So coming out either stacking or not. Top arm can come up or behind head. The other versions we did, just as a reminder, because some of you guys popped out for a moment, was leg in front like this, right? And the other version we did was knee down like this. Okay, so breathing there. Yeah, if you're taking your hands behind your head, try to open the chest. Yes, toward the ceiling even. Think of it going in that direction. Keep breathing. Good. And then as you exhale, let's slowly come down. And we'll find our way to downward dog. So whatever variation you're doing, just slowly maneuver yourself back to down dog or child's pose. Following your breath in and out. Good. Breathing in and out. Let's inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. You can come down to knees first or just step left leg forward as you exhale. You're going to inhale, reaching left arm forward, sweeping it around. And then as you exhale, start to straighten the legs, square the hips and fold. And inhale, reach it forward again. We're going to come into reverse warrior. So you're going to place that right heel down on an angle, press into the front heel, rise up. Inhale, stretch that left arm up. Good, we're going to stay here, exhale. Good, inhale, just keep reaching left arm up. Get those left ribs to open. Good, exhale. Inhale again. Now exhale, we're going toward half moon. So you're going to look forward towards your left, find a block. Right hand can come to hip as you place that left block down and rise, finding your breath. Good. And open up the chest any amount today. Good. Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhale. Exhale, starting to look down, bend the knee, try to float that leg back down to the floor. We're coming to side angle pose, but opening up the right leg. So you turn the feet parallel, then open up the right toes, forearm to thigh. Good. Inhale, stretch arm along ear. Exhale there. Inhale, elevate that shoulder blade. Draw it way, way up. Now exhale, can you retract that shoulder blade? Just opening it up. Good. Inhale, stay here. And exhale. Good. Inhale again. And as you exhale, press into that right heel to come into our speed skater, back and forth. So you just turn the feet however they feel best. Just going side to side. Good. Can you stay low? Does that feel okay? Yeah, nice work, everybody. Keep breathing. Imagine like if you're, I don't know if you've watched any of the speed skating in the Olympics, they're not this wide, right? But imagine like you're pushing off that extended leg. Try to feel that's what's getting you to the other side. As though you had an ice skate on or a ski. Yeah. Good. And then the next time you come back to that left side, let's pivot around into our lunge. So this is going to be a right hand down, any version of side plank, right? Yeah, that's it. So you're going to start to walk that left foot wherever you want it or place the right knee down. Come into your side plank. Keep breathing. Roll that upper arm bone back on the bottom arm. Engage the glutes. Lift the hip and the right ribs away from the floor. One more breath. And then as you exhale, find your way with control back to your downward dog or your child's pose. Take a few breaths there. Let your neck go. Play around with your shoulders a little bit. Now we're going to do that same sequence, but a little bit quicker. And you can feel free to not do it more quickly if you don't want to, okay? You can do it however you want, of course, but I'll talk you through it a little bit more quickly. Okay, so we're going to inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Exhale, right leg comes forward to a high lunge. Inhale, sweep the arm forward and up and around. Exhale, fold over a straight leg. Inhale, bend the knee again. Come into stargazer pose or reverse warrior, pressing into your right heel, standing up. Good. Exhale, start moving to our half moon. Okay, look forward. Good. Inhale, fully open in half moon. Good. Exhale, start to look down. Step that leg back. We're going to go towards side angle on the left side. So flip the feet. Stretch into side angle as you inhale. Good. Exhale, skater a few times back and forth. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, turn toward the front leg and lunge, placing left hand down. Inhale, prepare for side angle. Exhale, side plank is what I mean. Side plank pose. There you go. Good. A couple breaths in your version of side plank. Nice. Just inhaling and exhaling, bringing the top of the head to line up with your upper back. Good, inhale again. And as you exhale, engage your core to come back to plank or lunge, and then down dog. Good, inhale here. And exhale, noticing the two sides of your body. How do the hips feel, the legs, the shoulders, the arms? Good. And we're gonna do the other side. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, left leg steps forward. High lunge. Inhale, start reaching the arm forward, big circle. Exhale, straighten leg and fold. Inhale, start bending it again. We're coming towards stargazer pose or reverse warrior, placing back heel down. Good. Find your breath and take an inhale here. Good. Exhale, we're going to half moon. Looking forward, taking your time. Inhale to open up into half moon fully if you can. Good, and then exhale, we're carefully stepping down. We're gonna come into side angle with the right leg. So you just shift the feet. Inhale, side angle. Yeah, you just face the back of your mat. Yeah, that's all you do there. Yeah, you flip around. Good, inhale there and exhale there. Nice, and then yeah, that's it, Alicia. And then you go skater pose back, side to side. Good, and then we'll flip toward that front leg again, the left leg. Right arm goes down, inhale. Exhale, side angle. Any variation. Good, you can even, if you want, you can lift the top leg. If you're doing stacked legs. Good, one more breath here. And exhale, downward dog, coming back. All right, just check in both sides of your body, following your breath in, following your breath out. Let's try it again. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale, big circle. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back heel down, stargazer pose, reach up. Good, exhale, half moon. Inhale, open up if you can. Exhale, look down, step back. So we just go to the back leg. So you just flip the feet, side angle, back leg, inhale. Good, exhale, come out, skater. Side to side, just do 3. Good, keep breathing, turn around, find your breath, placing left hand down, and then exhale into your side plank. Any variation. Good, if you lifted the top leg on the other side, you might try that again. Keep breathing, good. And then on your exhale, come into child's or downward dog. We just got one more side here. Take your inhale and your exhale. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale, reach left arm forward, circle it up. Exhale, fold over front leg. Inhale, reach it forward, bending again. Exhale, stargazer, placing back foot down. Inhale, stargazer. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, half moon. Exhale, look down, place the back foot, start shifting the feet. So now you go to the back leg for side angle. So you just open up that right foot. Yeah, inhale, side angle. Exhale, speed skater, 3 times. 1 and 2. And then you come to the front for the third one. Place right arm down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, side plank. Good. Any variations? You can even do tree pose. Good. Keep breathing. And then as you're ready, exhale, slowly bring yourself around to downward dog or puppy dog. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, so choose what you'd like here. Let your neck hang. Take a couple sighs. Now, as you take your next inhale, can you really breathe in, especially if you're in down dog? But this works in child's pose too, actually. Can you breathe into the space behind your heart? So just your upper back, really. And long exhales. And now on your next inhale, let's come forward into plank. And exhale, just stay there. Feel like you're moving your armpits towards your hips and tuck the tail and lift the hips high without flexing them. Good. Yeah, good. So without sticking your butt up, but instead tail tucked, just hips high. Yeah, you got it. Inhale here. Good. Now exhale to see if this is going to work for you. Could you place your left elbow down on the floor and bring your right hand so it's directly across from that left elbow? Yeah, it's like a funky plank. Yeah, you got it. Inhale here. Now exhale, could you turn towards your right in a forearm side plank? Do whatever variation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my left hand and move it over so it faces this way. And I'm going to come into this variation of side. You could have the knee down though. You could have both knees down. All right, good. Breathe, inhale. Good, exhale. Good, you guys, staying with it, inhale. Now exhale, any variation of forearm plank. So you can bring both arms down. So you could have knees down like this, or you could have knees up. Good, inhaling here. Good, exhaling here. Inhale. Now exhale, let's take that left hand to line up with the right elbow. So the funky plank again. Knees can be down or up. So my left hand's on the floor. And then can you straighten your left arm? Yeah, so it's really funky. Inhale here. Now exhale, slowly turning to your left for forearm plank. Let that right hand just move. Good. Knees can be down or up. Keep breathing. Keep rolling that upper arm bone back. Good. One more breath. And then exhale, forearm plank again. So bringing that arm down, slowly rotating that forearm around. Tuck your tail under. Get your elbows right below your shoulders. Good. Remember, you can drop to knees. Just have the tail tucked when you're on your knees too. So you kind of like, Holly, check me out for a second. Yeah, my tail is tucked. So you can still scoot your armpits towards your waist. Yeah, keep drawing the belly in. Alicia, lift that belly up. Yeah, that's it. Lift those hips up. Good, and then exhale, release. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Just let your neck go. Good job, everybody. Press your pubic bone down. Inhale, breathe into your ribs. Exhale, shoulder blades away from ears. Inhale. Good. Exhale, lowering down, bringing forehead to backs of hands or turning your head to one side. Good. Take a couple sighs here. Let your neck relax. You might even just roll your forehead on the backs of your hands. Just noticing how your body responded to the last sequence there, how your mind responded. Good. Now from here, you can come up however you like to go back to either puppy dog or downward dog pose. And just take a sigh in whatever you've chosen. Let your jaw relax in whatever you've chosen. And then either coming down to knees or up to all fours. You're going to sit on the floor and just place your hands behind your back. Feet out in front. Good. My fingers are facing out. They could face out, they could face back. Okay. And inhale, just roll your shoulder heads back and lift through the chest. Good. Exhale, stay here. Keep rolling the shoulder heads back. Good. Nice. Inhale. And exhale. And now if you feel like your wrists and shoulders are okay to lift again, we're going to inhale, keep them back, and exhale, press into the feet, engage the glutes, and come up. Keep trying to roll the shoulder heads back and keep squeezing the glutes. Good. Inhale. And exhale, do what you want with the neck. It can go back, it can stay forward. Good. Inhale here. Head press into your heels. Exhale. Good. Inhale again. Exhale, slowly lower. Just place your feet and shins wherever you want to, but wrapping your arms around, letting your back round. Take a couple breaths there. Okay, we're going to do another reverse plank or Purvottanasana. And I'm going to give another option, but you could stick with the one you did if you want. Okay, so you're going to take your hands behind your back. Again, inhale, roll the shoulder heads back. Now just see, what would it feel like? You might need to adjust where the left arm is, but to come up with just the left arm. So my right arm is just in front of my face, bent at a 90-degree angle. If you're like, no, that's not going to work for me today, my left arm is not working well, then keep it down, okay? And inhale, roll that left shoulder back, and exhale, see about lifting up. And now look at your thumb. Inhale. And exhale, let's reach that arm overhead diagonally toward the left, looking at the thumb. Engage the glutes and press the hips up. Good, keep breathing. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Then exhale, engage the core as you slowly lower back down. Good, let's just switch to the other side. Inhale, take the other arm back. Either you're just doing a Purvottanasana or some other pose if you don't want to be doing this. Okay, exhale there. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, left arm in front. Exhale, lift the hips, engage the glutes, look at your left thumb and press the hips up higher as you start to reach that left hand over diagonally to the right, looking at the thumb. Yeah, that's it. It can even start to go overhead too. Yeah, so your chest presses up. Inhale. And then exhale with core engaged, pressing into heels, slowly lower down. Good. And just sit cross-legged. You could sit up on a blanket and roll out the wrists for a moment. Relax the shoulders. Nice. We're going to take the right hand, and if it feels okay, sit on it with the palm up. Yeah. So it's like, mine's at my sit bone, but it's wherever it works for your body, okay? And inhale, just kind of roll the shoulder head back and the upper arm bone back till I feel some sensation and the flexion of the wrist. Good. And now inhale, you can take your left arm out to the side if you want, and exhale as you start to lean. I'm just leaning my head, but there's this sensation of my torso leaning a bit too to the left. Good. Couple breaths there. Long exhale. And then just taking the left fingertips to the side, like the temple of your left side, and carefully lifting your head back up. And slipping your right hand out from underneath. And just pause for a moment here, noticing sensations. Lengthening your exhale. Good. And now let's take the left hand, palm down underneath the left hip. And rolling that upper arm bone back. Just noticing the sensations that are present. For me, it's stronger on this side, so just noticing in yourself. And then if it serves you, you could take your right hand out to the side, add the neck in, leaning it toward the right. You want this not too intense. Okay, so back out of it if it's really intense. Couple more breaths there, lengthening your exhale. I don't know if I said palm up. I had mine wrong. So if your palm isn't up, turn that palm up so you get that flexion. Yeah, that's it. So it's like the opposite of all that work we were doing. Good. That's why I was getting more sensation. Okay, good. Now take the fingertips to the right side of your head and just gently lift the head. Slip out the hand and pause. I'm going to add in a humming on my exhale. You can join me if you want, just down regulating the nervous system. So it's just like this, inhaling. Mm. Mm. Now I'm going to add an om. So I'm just going to inhale and om on the exhale. You can join me if you want to. Om. Just notice for a moment after you finish. I'm going to add a voo, just like VOO, almost like a deep foghorn sound if you've ever heard one. On my exhale, you can join me if you want. Okay. And then just pause and notice. As if you're holding tension anywhere. And then coming onto your backs as you're ready. You can get anything for support that you might like to rest. So if there's any other poses you want, of course, do them. If you want to twist or a knees to chest or anything else your body wants or needs. And then when you feel ready to, you can come into a resting pose. That's really feeling we used a lot of effort in this practice, right? So really feeling once you get to that rest, can you let go of as much effort as possible? Just take a sigh and releasing. And as you release effort, can you notice the two sides of your body, right to left? And notice the top half of your body and the bottom half. And just noticing what you can connect with more than others, just what you experience here. Noticing the front side of your body and the back side. Noticing your whole body at once. And then letting go, just doing nothing, not trying to do anything or pay attention to anything. If you want to, you can take one or both hands to your chest or your belly or your head, wherever you want to. And sending yourself some love and kind words, or just the sensation of your hands on your body, sending love to yourself. Notice what that experience is like. And I thank you for joining me today. I encourage you to stay here longer if you'd like, or begin to move whenever you're ready. And just take your time instead of rushing to your next thing. Just kind of stretch and feel as you move.